painting, weathering, and finishing Captain Rex foam helmet. Index. I will show how I'll be painting, weathering and finishing the Captain Rex helmet. White base paint. We will give a white plastic base with a sponge. Remember, you can use Plasti Dip to cover the helmet, instead of the way I do. We do the same with the MacroBinoculars. We will give another coat to cover well. For the turnings we can use a brush. Now I will use this plastic paint that is more covering. We do the same with the MacroBinoculars. Black areas to paint. Gray areas to paint. The gray areas to be painted are the small circles of the front tubes, teeth, and also the 3 lines on the side. We will mix white paint with black to achieve gray. With white, you can fix some edges. Once the black and gray are finished, we will move on with the rest. Markings. Sorry for the printer toner. It is the guide to make the markings in the dome. We will cut to be able to draw inside. We will use the base to know where to place it. We will indicate the lines with a black marker. Now with a permanent black marker we will draw the lines. Continuing the ones we already drew, we will make the lines above, leaving about 5 or 6 millimeters from the ones below. Now we will make the crossed lines, always from top to bottom, towards the back of the helmet. Same on the other side. Remember that for this side there should only be 2 loose lines. Areas to mask the helmet. Before painting the blue parts, we have to mask and prepare the masks. We will cut the inside, to be able to draw the mask. We will put overlapping paper tape, to make a surface for the mask. And we draw on the paper tape. We cut the drawn area. We will put the mask on the helmet, using the position guidelines. Now we will continue with the face and chin masks. The mask will be made around the visor. Remember to make the entire contour of the mask, with the width of the upper line of the face. To mask the chin, continue the line above. Remember to give the entire outline the same width. Blue areas to paint on the helmet. I will use this blue acrylic paint. Once we cover well, we will also cover the dome masks. Optionally, with a very soft white paint, we will lighten the markings, to make them more real, and take away the strength of the black marker. Areas to mask the MacroBinoculars. blue areas to paint the macro binoculars. Removing masks. We will remove the masks carefully. Weathering on blue areas. To give that impression of war, and damaged by the war, we will start with a sandpaper, going to the edges. Then grading with a cutter to give an idea of strokes. Always being careful not to hurt the white paint underneath. That is why I recommend covering a lot with blue to be able to mark without problems. Another way to simulate damage to the blue is to paint it as if the blue is peeling. Just apply and smudge the blue areas, with white paint that covers well. Focusing on the edges, between blue and white. The same on top. Same for the macro binoculars. We also stain with white paint. Weathering on white areas. To dirty the white area, we will first use a wood stain paint. We paint from bottom to top, without darkening too much, leaving a little white below. For the curved lines on the sides, we will do from the center outwards. We'll make it a little darker than what we did in the dome. Optionally, you can apply the same, to simulate oxidation in the MacroBinoculars. On the previous line, we will slightly put a blue in the center, without completely covering the previous. Scraping, we will make the white line of continuation. Although, you can also paint it with white. To do the general weathering, we will mix several colors, because the dirt is not only black, but also gray, brown, etc. We will mix all the colors. If it is too brown, you can add black. We add water. We will apply with a sponge to the entire helmet, avoiding the blue areas. We will clean with a kitchen paper, removing the applied gently. In some areas, you can apply with your finger, where we want to get more dirty. We will do the same with the MacroBinoculars. We will dump the content of the mixture with water, in an airbrush, and we will apply in the areas that have to be more dirty, especially in the 4 holes. Also in the recesses. Also in this area, we will apply very dark. We will also apply in the dome, at the joints with the mohawk. Also down and in front. Same for the MacroBinoculars. Painting cyan lines. To paint the cyan lines, we will mix blue, white and turquoise. I add the turquoise. If you have cyan, you can paint it directly with the color. We will paint a fine line, 4 mm or 5 mm wide. We will also paint the line in this place. Gluing screws. Gluing rangefinder. To put the rangefinder, we will remove the cover that we put to be able to glue it directly on the foam. We will put glue on the base, and on the tube that will go inside. We place the rangefinder inside, with the fresh contact cement, to be able to center it. We will put it with the stock and the head of the rangefinder, to be able to place it at 90 degrees. Adding visor to the helmet. Previously, I took the viewfinder measurement with a sheet like this. I will draw a 2 cm outline around the viewer, and then adjust it. We cut on the edge. For the viewer, I will use an X-ray, but you can use a polarized film. Or you can use a plastic bottle, or search for Hobart face shield replacement shaded, on the internet. I test the visor, and I make some adjustments to it. We will put the glue on the edges. We fix the visor in place with the glue. We press front and behind, to not leave spaces. Optionally, I will cover the part of the visor on the inside, with foam to make it more neat. I will use 8 mm foam thickness. We will cut all the sides straight. We will put glue inside. Adding Visor to the MacroBinoculars. We will also add a film to the MacroBinoculars, to simulate a viewer. We will glue the film from behind. Adding pads. For the pads, we will need a 1.5 or 2 cm high sponge, and EVA foam 1 or 2 mm thick. For the bottom of the head, we will make a circular one. Optionally, you can reduce the edges of both sides. You can test it on the helmet. For the rectangular pads, you can make them 9 by 6 cm, but however you want. Optionally, you can reduce the edges of both sides. With the sponge, we will draw the circle, leaving an excess of about 2 cm, to be able to glue it later. We will draw the outline, to know where to put the glue. With the one we already did, we will make another one. We will do the same with the rectangular pads. We will add glue, only on the indicated contours. Now we will join both sides. We close the entire edge well. Now we will cut the excess, leaving 1 cm or less. The same with the rectangular ones. We will cut the excess all around. If you want, you can optionally curve the corners. We will seal the foam with heat. We will add the Velcro on each pad. We will indicate to know where to put the glue. You can accommodate the pads and put the head between them. Now we will put the Velcro on the inner side of the helmet. If you need to smooth the Velcro, you can always heat it from the back side. For the rectangular pads, we will put a strip all around, so that it can be put where you want. We will put the strip from the center to the sides, to avoid shifting. You can put the pads in the most comfortable way that suits you. Final helmet.